Hey everyone, Official Guy Reviews here with you one more time on this fine, snowy Friday, as weird as that sounds here in Canada. I just wanted to stop by today with a piece of equipment that is near and dear to my heart. It's an item that I've had in my house for a good 2 years now, a little more actually than that, and it's been a great addition to my household as far as adding a little bit of fitness to my life. I haven't used it near as much as I probably should have, but I do feel like I've used it enough to at least give you guys a solid view on it, and a little side-by-side on something that you may be looking at the same time if you're considering this. So today we have the PowerBlock Classic 50 with you. I'm going to be doing the pricing on this one in US dollars stateside, because the Canadian side, obviously I'm in Canada as well. Pricing on these guys seems to be a pretty massive spread depending on where you're at. Us Canadians can get something with the PowerBlock set for around $449 to $489 on Amazon Prime, so there is no shipping, which is nice because they are weights. Obviously they're fairly heavy, but depends on what you're looking at, depends on the expansion sets, but it does seem to be anywhere between $400 or $500 for the Canadian side of things, but you can get them significantly cheaper if you're not worrying about shipping and all that kind of stuff. If you go to a Fitness Depot or something like that, you can usually pick them up pretty solid. This one here I did get at Fitness Depot. Obviously this was a couple years ago though, so it's not really an accurate representation. However, I do want to give you a solid breakdown of what you can expect from these guys here, because they are really solid set of dumbbells. So again, this is the Classic 50. The weight range on this, it's the Select style. So if you've heard of the Logitech Bowflex weights, this is very similar, and it's pretty much a direct competitor to them. But these guys here, you're going to be looking at a 10 to 50 pound range. The Bowflex runs on their base model basically 52.5 pounds, so very similar in the weight of things. You're not going to notice a huge difference there between the two. So again, this guy here, Select style, just pulls out like so. There's almost like a little pincher style here, right? They're just plastic, but they've held up very well. I mean, like I said, used these for over 2 years and they just pop right back in. There's a little notch all the way down. It runs all the way down the front. Same on this side here, that it just slides right into like that for you, and then you just lift the weight out like so. The weight itself feels like solid quality. You got steel plate all the way along on both sides. These are all steel style plates, color coded for simplicity for the weight. When you actually look at the weight itself, it gives you all your weight breakdown, color coded. So again, very easy. Couldn't be simpler. It'll be very straight up. And then you just got your PowerBlock Classic 50 right there for it. So very simple, great little weight to look at if you're just looking for a simple set to get into fitness in your house, or just have on the side of the living room to catch your eye so you can do a set here or there when you're walking by. It's really hard to beat the PowerBlocks for it. Now I'm going to go over my reasoning when I was deciding between these guys here and the Bowflex, why I went this route. Price-wise, they're very similar between the two. There's not a lot of difference between the two in price at this point. However, there is one massive difference that I found was huge for me. So with these guys here, you'll notice when I selected this weight here, it pulled up this much weight and left this much remaining on the table. The Bowflex is wider than this. This is just around 12 inches or so wide, whereas your Bowflex, you're going to be looking at 15.75 inches wide, which is obviously notably larger. You're almost 4 inches wider by default than this, which, you know what, at the end of the day, yes, it's wider. It's a little bit clunkier feeling, because they're doing, if you've seen them, they do the slider plate style. They're thicker. They're almost like a plastic plate, whereas these are more the steel style. So the weight comes obviously more densely through these ones here and makes for a smaller footprint, which was a huge impact for me, that smaller footprint just in my living room or wherever I was going to store these. I don't have a dedicated fitness room or anything, so I wanted to make sure that they had the smallest footprint possible. But more importantly, I had a buddy of mine who had the Bowflex Logitech. I believe he's running the 552s, which are very similar competitor-wise to these. His 552s, again, it's only 2.5 pounds heavier on the highest setting. It would pull the entire stack up every time. So no matter what weight you select, if I selected this weight with the Bowflex, it's going to pull the entire set up. It'll leave the weight portions down, but the entire barbell, the actual handle is the length of this. So as you lift it, it's actually going to lift the whole width of it. So you got 15.75 inches. in barbell for 5 or 10 pounds worth of weight. It just seems so redundant and so unnecessary. And also 15.75 inches is a notable difference from 12 as far as when you're doing a curl. When it comes down to your side, you're definitely feeling that. It's something where I feel like it may also almost affect your range of motion a little bit, and it's definitely something that has affected a bunch of people as far as the reviews go. It seems to be a pretty common thread. Now these guys here, obviously a little bit narrower. It's kind of nice on that point. The one thing I will state here for you though, that is the most important point of this entire review: the Classic 50 weight, which you can still purchase. It is still available to this day to purchase. So the Classic 50 is 10 to 50 pounds. You'll see 15 on there, but if you were just to pull out the center core, it's 10 pounds. It is not expandable. That is super important, because when you're looking at purchasing these guys here, if you're looking at expanding your fitness journey and getting into some heavier weights, and you're going to need more than 50 pounds per arm, obviously these come in a 2 dumbbell set, so there is 2 of these that come with it for the price points. It is absolutely crucial that you realize this Classic 50 is not expandable. It is currently listed as $299 on their website with a $59 shipping charge, and that's stateside only in the United States. It is made in the United States, so I guess that does make sense, and they don't want to do any international shipping from the looks of it directly from their website. However, like I said, you can get them at any fitness depot, things like that. They're pretty common items. It's not a rarity. But these guys here are not expandable. Your elite set, so if you go into the classic sets, elite classic sets in the website, just for the regular PowerBlock website, it ranges from 50 to 90 pounds. So it is expandable. So if you buy the elite 50, it goes from 5 to 50 pounds instead of 10 to 50 pounds like the classic. And then later on down the road, you've decided, you know what, I need expansion, I need more weight, it's just 50 pounds isn't doing it anymore. The elite set is expandable after the fact as well. So this one, you will be limited to the 50. That's it, that's all. The elite set, which surprisingly is now exactly the same price as the classic set on sale. So it's showing the MSRPs on these guys as $469 for the classic set, on sale for $299. Their whole website seems to be on sale though. And the elite set, you're running $489 on sale for $299. So it's very difficult for me anyways. I mean, I don't have personal experience with the elite to justify not getting the elite. The one point of note I will say is this expansion style people seem to enjoy a little bit more. So you'll see here with just that pull strap, that's it. That's me resetting the side, the actual weight. I don't have to worry about anything else. The elite set does have a little tab that pops up here that you need to readjust into things, and apparently it can be a little cumbersome and a little frustrating. However, size-wise and everything else, they're pretty much the exact same look and overall appeal. It'll just get wider as you obviously increase the weight. Still color-coded down the front and everything as well. So that is the one point of note, is that little top pop tab that you have to pop in to lock in your weight is apparently a little bit annoying. Bowflex does a very, very solid job of their dial style. You just do a dial at the end, do a dial on the other end, and pull up the weight, and it's very seamless. However, these guys, it is a little more frustrating on that point, but I guess to get the higher weights, that's the route they had to go. So they did do that. But I would strongly recommend, if you want to expand in the future, or you think you may want to expand in the future, definitely consider the elite set, especially at the same price to start. I mean, there's really no downside outside of the selector itself. There is a sport series as well, which starts out at 3 to 24 pounds if you just want a little small set for yourself. It will list everything that is expandable and not expandable. So if you go to their website, it's one of the notes on every single one of these. No matter what you click in their dumbbell section, it'll say this set is not expandable past 24 pounds per hand, for example, which is the sport set. It's not expandable past 24 pounds. So please make sure you note that. There is also a Sport 50 set that is not expandable. There is expandable sport sets. So definitely a consideration you need to look at is how far do you want your weight journey to go? How much weight do you need per arm? If 50 is fine, great. But again, I'm over 2 years in now, and at that time I said, you know, no chance I would ever even consider. Now, you know what, maybe in a little while, now that I'm actually focusing on my fitness a little more and focusing on my weights a little more, it would have been nice to have that option available to me. It's just nice to have it just in case. The expansion sets are $129 each, so to go from 50 to 70, and 70 to 90. The Elite set, the Sports set, both max out at 90. But again, the Classic 50 is a 50, that's it. There is a urethane series set that's come through, and it does expand all the way up to 125 pounds per arm, and then apparently there's a heavyweight set even past that, but I don't really need to look into that for myself. Feel free to check into it for yourself, but it is just completely unnecessary for me. That being said, the 125-pound set being their most expensive for the urethane, it's 5 to 125 pounds. It comes with 2 of the weight sets. That there is going to be running $956. That's on sale. That's American, and your $99 shipping and handling for the heavier weights, obviously, at that point. The MSRP is apparently $1,396 for that crazy big set. So depends what you need. The other cool thing is they've done a really good job of adding in some different options for expansion sets through the urethanes as well. You can get like barbells. You can get like your easy curl bar. You can get your straight bar, and they even have like a kettlebell expansion where it's like a handle that fits in down through the middle, and then you have your kettlebell handle right through here. They've also just added the kettlebell adjustable power block handle itself for the actual kettlebell that's an adjustable weight. So something to take a look at. They have tons of options available there for you. Again, my focus was more on the Classic 50 here. I really wanted to make note of that Elite series. If you want an expansion, please be very cautious what you order. It'd be terrible to order a $300 item plus shipping, or even if you get it for $250 and realize that you could get an expandable future set for exactly the same price. It would be pretty upsetting. So I wanted to make sure you knew that. It was a mistake I made. At that point, there was a pretty notable price difference between the Elite set and the Classic 50s, and I didn't think it was necessary for me. Again, hindsight, it would be nice to have that room, especially at the same price. I just don't see why not. I'd rather have slightly more difficulty with the little selector than not have an actual expandable set. So to give you an idea here, again, the construction of the unit itself, let's pop that out there and then just pull out the center core. So again, here's your 10-pound center core to give you an idea here. These are almost like a steel capped. On the top side where your hand goes into the block, these are a foam. So it's really, really nice for your hand. In here, this looks similar, but this is actually a rubberized, firm rubberized coating here. And then you've got this hardened plastic as the edges here. And then you can see the ribs that you put the actual slider into. It's all very, very solid. Again, like I said, over 2 years usage. I'd love to say hardcore usage, but it isn't. However, there's not a single issue I've ever had with this guy. It's been great. The selector's always been solid. Please make sure, there's warnings all over it, but make sure your selector is fully selected before you lift the weight out. You don't want this thing falling on your feet or any of the side weights or anything coming loose if you don't have it fully selected, because you can accidentally slide it in on an angle. So if I put one in the white, I can accidentally put one in like the green, and if I lift this, it is going to be completely off kilter and messy. So just make sure you're getting it in equal on both sides, and you'll be nice and comfortable there. It'll slide right up, and again, it's just that simple. I love that your hand is inside as you lift it. So once I get my hand in here, it's just like you're so secure in there. You got that nice foam around your wrist. It's not going anywhere. So no matter what you're looking at doing, whether it's hammer curls or even like shoulder presses or squats, you just feel very, very confident and very comfortable in the grip of it. It's always been great for me. Again, I'm not a gym rat or a guru. Obviously, you guys are the pros out there. I'm just some guy who doesn't work on his fitness near enough. And this is one tool that I found to, as a lazy person, keep myself focused on at least getting some kind of weightlifting into my day. I just leave them in a place where I can see them, and it just reminds me, hey, I got to get on that. And it's easy to throw out a quick set or two. It's so much better than having to worry about running to the gym or that kind of stuff. It's something I'd love to tell myself that I'm going to be good about. I just have never gotten around to being a solid gym person, and this has been a great way to add to my day-to-day. So I've been working on my fitness journey for only a few months now. I've tried a million things in the past, as a lot of us who've run into issues with weight, fitness, your diet, and I'm going to try and share a few of those with you guys, because I feel like, why not? It can't hurt. If we can do a big data share, it's got to help somebody out. So if I can help one person out there find something that works for them, that worked for me. I've been doing this, at least 10 or 15 years. I've struggled with my weight, and this is something that's really helped out for me. So I'm going to add a few more videos here of things that have really helped out over the last few months. I've lost about 45 pounds, and it's only still coming. So I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. If you do have any comments or questions, feel free to throw a note down below. Feel free to like and subscribe to the video if you like, and I'm always happy to help out and say hello to anybody. If you have an item that you want me to check out, please feel free to let me know if I've got a buddy with it, if I can get a hold of it for you. I'm happy to take a look at it as well. Thanks again, guys, and I hope you have an awesome weekend.